Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about lab equipment training. So this semester is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have you actually come into the lab to do some equipment training. So let me discuss the details of how this is going to work. All right, so we're going to be doing chem lab equipment training. You will have to come into the chemistry lab this semester for limited hours, so it's not every week. We're going to be doing this differently because of COVID. So here are the details on how this is going to work. So you will be scheduled to come into the lab every 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. I will let you know when your scheduled time is. You'll be in lab for 60 minutes. That's the amount you have allotted. So if you finish early, you can leave early, but that is the longest amount of time that you can stay. Another thing as well, just because we have so many students that are going in and out of the lab, you may be scheduled for a different time each cycle. However, your times will always fall inside of your class time. So that class time is usually going to be scheduled for an afternoon for 3 hours. So you will be scheduled sometime in there. So even though it might be different each 2 or 3 weeks that you're coming in, it's going to be inside of your class time that you're scheduled for. So if you work a job, please keep this in mind. If you are trying to schedule around your class time, make sure that you are not going to have conflicts regarding class and you are able to get to class during the time that you're scheduled. It's very important that you come when you are scheduled. Another thing to know for working in the labs this semester is when you leave after your 60 minutes are up, another reason we need you to leave on time is because we have to disinfect everything after you leave so that the next students can come in and work safely. So we will be doing that. So just make sure that you mark your calendar for the times you're scheduled. You will get an email from me telling you when you're scheduled for, or I will be posting a notification on Canvas that has a link to everyone's scheduled times. If you have trouble accessing this, let me know. It will be available for you before the class starts this semester, before you're scheduled to come in. Okay, and please, again, make sure you're scheduled. Do not miss, because we don't have much time for makeups. We need you to be there when you're supposed to be there. All right, so here's how to access equipment training. In order to come in and do these lab activities, you have to know how to do them first. So this is located on Canvas. You can go to the Modules tab, and you're gonna find this equipment training module. Those are all 4 things that you need to finish this semester in order to complete this portion of the course. The first thing that you're gonna be working on is pipette training. When you finish that, you'll move on to titrations, then solutions, and then dilutions. That's the order in which you're going to be performing these things. So the first time that you're scheduled to come in, you're going to be working on pipette training. So before you come into the labs, you're going to need to view this page on Canvas. Let me turn off these subtitles so you can see what's going on. All right, so at the top here, we've got these videos for you to watch that are going to explain what you need to be doing and how to do it. This is the lab techniques. So make sure you watch this video before you come into lab. It's super duper important. So if you notice, the title of this Canvas page says, watch this Edpuzzle video before you arrive. That needs to be completed before you get there. And then when you arrive to work in lab, you're going to have a spreadsheet that you can fill out with your data, and the steps are listed down below in that second area that tell you what you need to do. So it should be clear, and if not, your professor will be in the lab with you, so you can always ask them questions if you get stuck there. But keep in mind, we've got 6-foot social distancing requirements, so they cannot physically come to help you. They will have to talk to you from a distance, which is another reason why you need to be prepared. And then when you finish collecting data, you're going to enter all of that data into a Canvas quiz, and it's just going to be checked for accuracy. You don't need to be super duper accurate, but you do need to get it in a certain range in order to pass. If you happen to really flub some of your measurements, you will have to repeat the training. So make sure that you are trying to be as accurate as you can when you come in. You can always ask questions about this. Okay. Please make sure you watch your training video before you get in the lab. This is super duper important, okay? That video that I showed you that's on Canvas, you can watch it anytime you want, any time of day. It is on Canvas. Just make sure you get it done before you come to the lab when you're scheduled to be there. You can watch the video more than once. So if you watch it once on Monday and you're scheduled to come in on Friday and you kind of forget what's going on, you can view it again as many times as you need. So just make sure that this info is fresh in your mind before you get to lab. And what this is going to do is it's going to help you get into lab easily and quickly and get through all the activities and finish them very easily without incident, okay? So don't forget to do that. All right, another note, please be prepared. If you do not watch the assigned video before you come into lab, you will be sent home. You are not prepared for lab. You may not finish lab. This is time that is going to be wasted if you are not ready. So make sure you watch the video. We're extremely limited on lab time this semester, very, very limited. So I need you to finish the activities when you are assigned to finish them. So do not squander your in-person time in lab. That is a time for you to work, not a time for you to be confused. So make sure that you are clear on what you need to do before you arrive. Be prepared. Another thing about working in the lab, we do have a dress code for lab. It's very important for safety reasons. So one of the biggest things that happens in lab most of the time is somebody drops a piece of glassware on the floor and it shatters. So for that reason, we have the requirement that you need to wear closed-toed shoes. If you have sandals, you will be sent home with sandals on. We also need your ankles covered because that is where most accidents happen. So if you have rolled up pants like the one in the corner over here, you'll be sent home. Ladies, if you like to wear tights, I know a lot of you wear tights or leggings or whatever, those, they need to cover your entire legs, okay? They can't be the kind that are quarter length. You will be sent home with those. You can't try to pull them down. I've seen you guys try to hitch them down because they'll stretch that way for a while. That's not gonna fly. You will need to have appropriate clothes. You can also, if you have pants that are kind of short like that, you could have a pair of socks maybe that you put on, tall socks, and you can just pull those up to cover your skin. I don't care what you wear to lab as long as you're covered, okay? So your skin needs to be covered from the waist down. Another thing that we also need to make sure is that your chest, ladies, is not exposed. One of the reasons is sometimes we can have chemicals splash up here. And if you get chemicals splashed up here, you gotta go under the safety shower to get those off. So we wanna avoid pulling the safety shower. If you get stuff on your hands, it's really easy to clean those off. But if you get stuff here, you gotta go full body under the safety shower. So ideally, what you should be wearing when you come to lab is a t-shirt, pants, again, with no holes. They need to cover all of your skin, closed-toed shoes, and socks. Socks to cover up that gap in between your shoes and your pants so that we don't have any accidents in that area regarding either breaking glass or chemical spillage. Again, if you come to lab breaking any of these rules, you will be sent home and you will not be able to work for that day. And that's a really big problem with COVID because of our limited time in the lab. All right, so every semester, I emphasize the importance of this, and every semester, students still come to lab dressed inappropriately. It's very, very important that you don't forget to do this. So I have developed a safety song in order to inspire you to dress appropriately and to help you remember what to wear. So it goes to the tune of head, shoulders, knees, and toes. It goes t-shirt, pants with no holes, socks, and closed-toed shoes. T-shirt, pants with no holes, socks, and closed-toed shoes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. These are places that chemicals shouldn't go. Okay, so when you are getting dressed for lab, remember this song. Don't forget it. If you do and you come to lab dressed inappropriately, I will make you sing this song. I will send you home and it will be double embarrassment, okay? So don't do it, all right? So here's your checklist after this video. Did you mark your scheduled lab times on your calendar so you know when to come into class? That's really important. And before you get to class, make sure that you watch the video training. Make sure you remember what you need to do while you're there so you aren't wasting lab time. You can always ask your instructor questions if you feel like you're unsure of what needs to happen when you arrive. And then the very last thing that's also very important is that you are dressed appropriately before you come to lab, okay? All right, so I will see you in the lab. If you have any questions, just ask me or Dr. Kaw. We would be happy to help you. See you soon.